Hey, what's happening? This is Jerry over at Wealth Dynamics coming to you live from my halfway built out studio in my office. We're putting this thing together, but I want to talk to you really quick about the number one way to pay off debt. Now, we all have debt. The average American has about $137,000 worth of debt between mortgages, car payments, student loans, credit cards, you name it, right? And the question becomes, how do we handle it? Now, there's two schools of thought. There's usually the people that sit there and ignore it, and they're like, oh, it'll just take care of itself. And then there's the people that are, rampantly trying to pay off debt, the Dave Ramsey people, the debt snowball people. And I want to give you my take on how to pay off debt and the best strategy to go about doing that. Now, I've got my trusty whiteboard here to help out with us today. So there's one reason really quickly that you would have debt. Okay, we're talking bad debt, not debt you use to leverage for cash flow. We're talking bad debt, debt that does nothing for you. Okay, there's only one reason you would have bad debt. And that one reason is you didn't have enough money, so you had to borrow someone else's. It comes down to that. It doesn't matter the circumstance behind why you didn't have the money or what happened or how it worked out. The bottom line is you were insolvent, somebody else wasn't, and you had to borrow their money because you didn't have any of your own or you didn't have enough of your own. Then you ended up in debt. Now, the problem with most debt plans is when you pay off the debt, you haven't fixed the root issue, which was financial insolvency, and you end up right back in debt. So I'm going to show you how to fix that today. So really quickly, you have your debt, right? So you've got your debt going on, and we're looking at how do we get rid of that debt? How do we eliminate it entirely from the picture? And you can take your money, obviously you can take your money and pay off that debt, but again, we didn't fix the problem of you didn't have money in the first place. So what'll happen is you wipe all the debt off, you still have nothing in the bank, nothing in savings, and you end up back in debt because of that. So how do we solve that problem? Okay, so here's what I want you to do. You're gonna line up your debts, smallest to largest, okay? Hope you guys can read my handwriting. You're lining your debts up smallest to largest balance. You're gonna make only your minimum payments. Now, I know this sounds like the Dave Ramsey debt snowball. It partially is, okay? And here's what you're gonna do. Minimums only. You're not gonna pay any extra money to any of the debts. It doesn't matter what the interest rate is. It doesn't matter who it's to. It doesn't matter if it was Aunt Sally. Doesn't matter. You're paying minimums only. Okay, minimums only. What that does is it should free up cash flow. You should have money left over in your budget. You're gonna take that cash flow on this side, so you've got your cash flow, and you're going to put that cash flow into a sacred account. Okay, so you're gonna put the money in a sacred account. The sacred account, the benefit of it is you're earning a 6 to 8% dividend. You're earning that money at a 6 to 8% gross annual dividend. As soon as you have enough money in that sacred account to pay off your smallest debt, you're gonna borrow from the sacred account, wipe out the smallest debt entirely, and what has happened is you've gotten rid of that debt altogether. So a few things happened here. You got rid of the debt, you saved interest, you've now freed up a payment. Great things. Now, the reason we use the sacred account is, remember how I said you're earning a 6 to 8% dividend? They still paid you that even though you took the money out to pay off your debt. Guys, this is how we solve the solvency thing. You have to have money that grows so you're not missing out on the opportunity cost. So imagine you paid off the debt, they're still paying you 6 to 8%, even though you took your money out to pay off your debt. Crazy, right? But that's how it works. You've now freed up a payment. So you have a free payment from that debt you've just taken care of, and that free payment, you're now going to pay back to your sacred account. So you're paying it back to your sacred account with the free payment so that you can continue to contribute in the front end, also in the back end with that free payment, and you're gonna repeat that cycle over and over and over. Now, in this example, let's say you have $1,000. Okay, you have $1,000 a month going into your sacred account. Let me just clear up our board a little bit. You've got $1,000 a month going into your sacred account, and here's what this is gonna look at. If you have debt and you're putting $1,000 a month extra into the sacred account to do what we call the sacred account debt buyout. So you're putting that $1,000 a month into the sacred account in 10 years. Let's say it took you 10 years to pay off every single debt you had. College loans, everything, student loans, credit cards, medical debt. We're not really gonna worry about cars and mortgages. We're worrying about consumer debt. So it took you 10 years to pay that off. Let's say you're debt free in 10 years. Okay, you've just put away all of your debt. You've gotten rid of it. The payments are freed up. You've saved a ton of money in interest. And based on our averages, you would have about 120 grand in your sacred account saved. So let me ask you, you had to pick 3 options. Option number 1, okay, you have, let me zoom our screen back in here. Option number 1, you have, ignore the debt like we talked about at the beginning of the video, and you're gonna end up paying a ton of interest, have your payments wrapped up, you'll still not solve the problem of saving money. Option 2, you do the gazelle thing where you pay off all of your debt, but you're broke and you end up back in debt. Or option 3, where you use the sacred account debt buyout, you wipe out all the debt, you save the future interest, you free up the payment, and you have 120 grand in the bank, which you can go invest with. You pick which one. So we can help you with option number 3. And I did write an article. I'm gonna have my team drop the link in the comments right now. And this article is gonna walk through everything you need to know about the sacred account, how it works, how you would use it for debt. And so if you click on that article, it's gonna give you the information you need, and you can read up on that. So that's in the comments right now. And until then, thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you do like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you guys next time.